Welcome, 134, From Trial to Grace. Paul reveals how to recognize the grace of God in people who are experiencing hardships. In a severe test of affliction, the abundance of their joy and their profound poverty overflowed in a wealth of generosity on their part. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 2. We note that Paul did not say that God subjected them to a severe test of affliction, but they were in a severe test of affliction. This severe test of affliction comes from them or other people and not from God. This affliction is testing them, and there are trials in life. What characterizes the grace of God in these people is that the abundance of their joy and their profound poverty overflowed in a wealth of generosity on their part. Of course, it's not easy, but in spite of the trials and sufferings, Paul experiences God's grace simply because of the abundance of joy. The extreme poverty which characterizes them and which overflows in a wealth of generosity. They knew how to ignore their trials and let God's grace pass through them. This allows these people to let their distress turn into a tasty fruit of conversion. They need grace to not put their sufferings back on others or on God. Grace transforms their way of life. This last passage is to be meditated often. It is quite impressive that by the grace of God we can increase joy even during trial and suffering. It's now impossible not to turn to Mary, the mother of Jesus, and see in her, who lived in the midst of a time of trial, a life filled with a joyful and immaculate heart. She who let radiate the grace of God in her, and whose radiance she received passes through all ages. Check out the verses, check out Luke chapter 1, verses 45 to 55. The love of God was revealed to us, 1 John chapter 4, verse 9. Also, by the yes of Mary, we can see the beauty of God in the yes of Mary. This is what we are also invited to do, to receive, then radiate the grace of God. God's love is manifested in shared love, in peace, joy, hope, prayer,